is hosting us in this inspiring art talk. So Aldo, could you tell us a bit what inspired you, first of all, to be part of this incredible community?
Yes, was a long history because the design was my passion. I started to work in design 13 years ago with a very important company, car company, was Giugiaro Ital Design. And 10 years ago, I had the opportunity to start a collaboration with Bertone, with Lily Bertone. Lily Bertone was the wife of the founder, Mr. Lucio Bertone. And my opportunity was not only to start with a manager in Bertone, but also with part of the shareholders of this company. We started 10 years ago, and we started with a very, very important project because it was Frecciarossa 1000. Frecciarossa 1000 is the fast Italian trains, and it was a very interesting project because we work together three very big company. With one is Hitachi for the part for the engine and the part of the powertrain, and another one was the Bombardier company. But the history of Bertone started 110 years ago with a car, because the car was first project we have made in Bertone. We started with a classic car. We started with a Lamborghini Miura. Lamborghini Miura is one of the most beautiful car in the world, and then Lamborghini Countach. We have Aston Martin DB5, a lot of historical car. But now, start to 2014, we have decided to change our focus in the design. We start with the interior design, with the architectura, and with the industrial design. That is the way we have now. We have started, and together Bertone, most recently 2 years ago, we have buy the new Crazy Color, because new Crazy Color is the part of the company to make the project. Mm-hmm. So Bertone was a design and engineering, and new Crazy Color build. So design and build is our goal now, our main business.
It is indeed wonderful. We had a little tour of the space here, which is an enchanted forest of design. I have to say, it's so inspiring, because we saw extraordinary how you use also the material, and how it's this thread of continuity and sustainability.
Yes, first of all, here, this is the headquarters of New Crazy Color Bertone, is a historical building, because our political is not to rebuild or to use the new land to build the part of the company, but want to regenerating the part of the building, historical building. This was the very historical building. They made the interior of the train here. And our idea is to use the special material, because we made a special with the handmade materials, and we work in a sustainability idea in our project. We start to the beginning with the design because if you want to create the whole chain, the whole life of the project, you need to start to the beginning to have the idea to the sustainability.
Yes, and could you tell us what was, we saw some extraordinary materials. Which one was the one that maybe inspired you the most?
In that area, because we are in Monza, Brianza is famous all over the world, because they have the super little company, artisan, to make the different kind of material, whether it was steel, but special steel, leather. We can use the leather. A lot of very important brands, whether Hermes and Cartier, they use that kind of the furnitures. And we use the wood, special wood, ebonist wood. They have the very long experience in ebonism, and so we have the possibility to have to start in a design with use the very special material, design and handmade. It is the fantastic mix to have the luxury top level product.
Aldo, I was wondering if you can tell us a bit, how does it start, all the process when you get a project? How does it start? What is the story behind each project?
Good question. This is the base of the successful of every project. I say if you need to design the train, the car,
yes,
or the museum, the approach is the same. First of all, one of the most important choices is to have a brief, to obtain the brief, because in a brief there are a lot of indication what is the kind of project you need the customer, the client. And so the first phase is to receive the brief, and then usually we make the mood board, because the mood board is very important, because the mood board is not a project. We present the mood board to the client for understand if we understand. Because if we have understanding, we can start,
of course, yes,
in a project. When you start in the first phases of the project, is a concept, is a sketch, is a rendering. With a rendering, usually you prepare 2 or 3 different options, and you present, and you choose, and you decide together the client what is the best way, what is the solution A, B, C. But you can also to start in a B with some element of A or some element of C. Is a mix. Is a mix of the project. When we have defined the phases of the design, you need to start in a feasibility study. That is very important, because the feasibility is the phase when you understand what is the idea, to the cost, to the timing, of to make that kind of project. When you have finishing the phases of feasibility, you start in engineering, in mock-up production, in a real scale or in a different scale, and finally in a prototyping. That is the all kind of flow chart of the design project.
The skeleton, let's say.
Exactly.
But more, what I would love to know, how do you, this every piece is a work of art?
Every piece, yes, depends which kind of target do you have. Because sometimes if you design the unique pieces, you don't need to start in industrialization phases, because 1, 2 or 3 pieces are like to the mock-up, not to the production. But if you have the approach of the industrial project, like to the car, for example, you need to produce 100,000 of that or 100,000 of this. In that case, you need to consider a lot of different choice. It's a completely different approach.
Yes, but more important, I've been walking through, as I said, wonderful works of art, which are incredible. So we will see later. But what happens after? This, you told me there are prototypes, but what happens? Because they are so beautiful.
Yes.
And so inspiring.
Until yesterday.
Yes.
Until yesterday, that kind of opera, the brand, they ask us to destroy it, this opera.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, but it's true. Yesterday we have made a presentation in a Salone del Mobile in Milan, and for the first time we can ask our client Furla to use one of pop-up. We have made the design and we have made also the all kind of pop-up, and we have used that like the installation during the Salone del Mobile in our events, and was a big successful because this is the most beautiful way to make the solution for to make the long life of the project. And the long life is sustainability, because you can imagine that the fashion is fast. No?
Yes.
Every 3 months you change completely the outfit of the window.
Yes.
Sometime also with the shops or the mall or the pop-up, and 100% or 99% of that kind of opera you need to destroy it.
This is very sad, I have to say. I couldn't believe it, because they are so beautiful. As I said, they are works of art per se. So
yes, probably is my idea. I'm not sure. Probably they have very big attention because the brand is very famous brand. They invest a lot in communication and marketing, and so they want to know exactly what is the end of the project, no? Because until the project is in a retail or in a space of the brand, they know, they are sure what is the level of presentation. Yes. And so we need to work together, to work with also with the museum. You work with the big events around the world to have to create a special event for to reuse that kind of opera.
Yes, like an itinerary as a...
See, like the road show, because it's also good for the communication, but also good for the academic, because you can imagine, no, the student to the university in Middle East or in Africa. They don't have the possibility every day to see and to touch what is that kind of opera. And so it could be also interesting for educational, you can also to organize with the International School of Design to make the show inside of the school, in Shanghai, in Sao Paulo, or in other places in the world.
And even to create a walking museum.
Absolutely.
That brings, all these works of art. Because as I said, we will show them, and then everybody will understand a bit better. Of course, here we have some of these, some examples, but more mobile example, and some structure that will stay forever. Yeah. This one will stay forever. This is the beauty of tradition and future together.
Exactly.
And at that point, I would like to ask you the last question. I know, because you have to do so many things today, because it's Salone del Mobile in Milano. So what did you create for the Salone del Mobile? We will see later.
Yes, today we have to make a very important presentation for the table, but the table is just is not exactly the word for this kind of opera. It's an opera, it's an artist opera, it's a unique pieces. The name is inspired of the very famous street in a Roman emperor. Is the Decumano.
Mm-hmm.
Decumano.
Yes.
And we have made this table together. The Arte Poli is the very artistic historic company located in Verona, and start to today until the Sunday you can see in a Salone del Mobile with kind of table.
Wonderful. And one more that is very contemporary to our art history is you created also NFTs. Could you tell us a bit?
Yes, yes. Well, the first NFT we have created are to the Lamborghini Miura. We have 100 pieces,
yes.
And it's very interesting because you change the color, you change also the view of the car. It was really nice, and I think we can show later some image of that NFT.
With great pleasure. And about the future, what do you think? We already mentioned the sustainability, the relationship, and the thread of continuity.
Yeah. Probably the scenarios, worldwide scenarios, change because in the last 2 years there was the very important scenarios was in the world. One is for the pandemic, because the China, they make the COVID pandemic 2 years ago, but also now and last week was closed China for 3 months.
Yes.
And the second very important point, a very tragic point, was the war in Ukraine. And so that kind of element, they change a lot of choice in the strategies of the company, because now if you want to shipping the container from China or to China from Europe, you need to spend 10 times to 1 year ago. First. Second, the timing and the bureaucratic system are crazy, because with the COVID you need to control every part of the pieces, and so you need a double times to make the shipping. That is in Asia and China. And in Ukraine, we have the problem for the material, because they have a lot of material, mineral, and the cost is very high. Probably in the future, because we speak every day with a big company, with a big mayor for the fashion industry, they ask us to have the local production in Asia for Asia. In Europe, to make the Europe and part of the Far East, and the USA to have the company to make and to manage the product directly USA to USA. Because if you want to have the sustainability in your company, you cannot do shipping to use the airplane every day to transport, to shipping the furniture, the interior from Europe, from USA, or from China, USA. That is, I think, the future in a company, in a strategy of the company. You can change the geopolitical effect in a world.
As I think it's a local globalization.
Yeah.
So
probably local globalization was until 2 or 3 years ago. Now probably changed that kind of idea, because it's too easy to think it's better to have the local production.
Yes, indeed. Aldo, I thank you. You are it's again an honor to be with you here and with all your incredible team. And we'll go and see a bit your space, your wonderful space.
Why not? I want just to show, if you want, the secret camera.
Yes.
We are in Tokyo. We are in Oyama area. That is the part of the retail shop, flagship shop for the Prada. For Prada, we have made all kind of interiors. This is the bench, like the tatami, is inspired to the tatami, Japanese tatami. Was the very interesting materials because it's like the stone, but it's soft touch stone.
I'll touch. It's incredible. The texture is incredible.
Yeah.
So we are in Herzog at the Muro. It's a beautiful labyrinth, I have to say.
Yes, this is a part of our showroom.
Yes.
I want just to present another interesting
Yes.
area.
Nice.
It is the jungle project for Ferragamo. Are the animals and our sculptures inside our company as in fiberglass. We make the faces of the gold inside, and we have production 4,000 pieces.
Beautiful. They look alive. It's
Yes,
having
yes,
a little
yes,
zoo,
yes.
a golden zoo here.
Absolutely.
But actually, not even a zoo, but free animals,
Yes.
which is the beauty. Thank you. And then of course we have it's it reminds me Le Lucciole.
Yes, that is another very interesting project. Was
Beautiful. Sparkling.
Prada is the brand of the two retail space we have designed. One is in Los Angeles and another one was in Beverly Hills. The name of that kind of wall is a sponge.
Sponge.
Ram Koolhaas was the architect to invent that, and he asked us to make exactly the idea when you use, and we have started to the just pieces of paper of the very simple idea, and we transform our idea in real materials. Start to choose a kind of resin, a specific resin, and we are making this is also the history of the kind of the mold, because we use a different kind of mold, siliconic mold, that is a mold with a steel to make a final prototyping and the final mold. That is
This is the one. Yes.
Yes, the big one,
incredible.
and the final mold. You can see, or you can add it to the inaction of the material and the mold to create in the press.
These are
It's
the
kind of-
different phases,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah,
un alveare.
like the alveare, like is a lot of holes, but you need to have the effect to see the light in the back of the wall.
This is the
That
idea.
is the idea. No, that is the idea.
Beautiful.
And the picture with
So you document everything.
absolutely all phases of the project. All phases of the project. Start to the one first drawing through the final engineering and to make the move. That is another very interesting presentation. This is for the winter for Zegna. Is the tree with inside of that kind of trees there is the fiber the fiber light, and we have a lot of mirror inside. No? If you can see, you can have the big space, because the mirror and the three different layers of mirror, you can create the special effect to the very big trees. Probably are 1 kilometer of trees. Oh.
It is, as I was saying, an enchanted forest. The effect, it's really Christmassy and and magical.
Yes, it's a magical. It's a magical. It's a magical. You can imagine also that kind of the presentation in a hall of the hotels or in a place or just in a museum. Could be very interesting because the effect is very, very nice.
Wonderful.
The dark room. This is a secret camera. This is the real Lamborghini Miura in a scale 1:1. And we have also the history of the most important car to the Nuccio Bertone we have designed. Start to the Alfa Romeo 6C, Aston Martin DB2, Maserati 3000, GT, Lamborghini Miura, and Lancia Aurelia, Giulietta, Bertone X1, and Jaguar B99.
A dream come true?
Yeah, please
Okay.
follow me.